horrible quality audio video, but I have this Sony, sorry, Sony kdl-52w5100 TV. If it'll focus, there we go. That I picked up for free because it was not working. And yeah, so basically it's got no picture. I'm not sure about sound, but I'm hoping it's just capacitors, because I mean it's a fairly old TV from what I understand, and when you actually turn it on, you'll be able to see the backlight does work. So yeah, I'm going to not sleep and put this on my bed so I have a large enough work surface, and then take it apart and see if the caps are bad. Okay, so this is the TV with the whole back panel. First thing it's interesting to see is just like a really big heatsink, although it does make sense. And I also notice it has LAN on it, so I'm not sure if it can like access network shares or something like that, but that'd be pretty cool. Then we have a big panel connector going up there. So we don't really have any bad caps, though, which kind of makes sense as the power supply wouldn't really have a backlight on it, if that was dead or if it was anything else. You have tweeters in the left corner, and bigger speakers at the bottom. And, I mean, up there as well. So that's the actual backlight circuitry there. So it would seem to be like an issue with the main board. And I did see a thing on eBay where someone has instructions on how to fix the issue, but it's not really any fun to try and just swap. Okay, so I can't see anything super obviously wrong with this immediately. I do smell a slight warm smell now. I'm not sure if that's just... oh, soldering iron, probably. But yeah, there isn't really anything that's obviously wrong with this thing, from what I can see. I don't know if I really want to spend, like, you know, $100 and some to $130 and shipping and stuff like that on a new main board for this thing. I tested again, it doesn't have any audio. So it does seem to indicate that it is a bad main board. What I do want to do though is try and get this heatsink off, and then heat up the chip underneath or whatever is under there with the heat gun. I know, like on GPUs and stuff, as they age and like as they die, it's not actually like reballing and shit that works. It's just the fact that you heated it up and it'll work for a little while. So I'm curious if maybe that's part of the issue. It could also be like some bad EEPROM or something like that, which would suck. But yeah, I don't even know if I'll be able to get this thing off with you know, a regular iron and how big the heatsink is, but we will see. Okay, so I lost the part of the recording where I actually took the heatsink off and took this thing off, which is annoying. But yeah, so there is the GPU, just using a thermal pad. And it's actually an AMD chip, which is interesting. I guess it makes sense. And then the main brains of the actual thing, I would say, would be this chip. Because it's got the oscillator near it as well, probably the EEPROM there. There's a couple other chips that'll just be like display driver chips of some sort, Texas Instruments chip over there. And a couple more little ones here for like the analog stuff. But yeah, so I'm just going to use a holder with my heat gun set to 150 on this for a couple minutes, and maybe on this too. It won't melt the solder, and we'll just see if heat helps it. Like it does kind of with you know, reballing GPUs. And for those curious, yes, my desk is this messy, but also this is just me using the sort of one of those really cheap heat guns. That actually works pretty good. On a stand that I actually got to hold laser, just aiming down at the GPU. I don't know, we'll see if that works. Holy shit, okay, so I'll be damned. I'm getting I'm getting an image on the screen. I'm also getting shitty YouTube side ads and shit. But yeah, holy crap, that actually if we go ahead and turn it on from scratch. Sorry about portrait mode. Sorry about portrait mode. I'm so sorry. Interesting. Oh, there we go. We got sound. That actually worked. This is the video that just shows like the main board replacement. I thought I was gonna do component level repair, but yeah, fuck. Hot air on either the GPU right there, or that smaller thing right there. Fix that. I don't know if it'll stay fixed, but holy shit, it's actually got a picture on it now. So yeah, that might just be it. So then if I fix it and put a heatsink on, I should turn it off because that's gonna overheat. Yeah, that just put a fan on the heatsink. That might be all it is. So I'm gonna maybe let it cook under the air a little bit longer, and put that heatsink back on and mount a fan onto it. There's 24 volt and stuff rails. I mean, I'm sure I can find 5 or 12 volts somewhere in this thing, easy for a fan. And we'll see if it works for. Fuck. This is I'm so glad. This is the first TV I picked up to try and fix, because they've always been missing the stand or something, because they were vase mounted. This has turned out really nicely. At least, you know, if it keeps working. So yeah, and interestingly, the weird thing, HDMI, I guess, is also powered by the cable by a bit, or yeah, something. It must be identifying the chipset. Even with that board disconnected and unplugged from everything and the TV powered off, my computer still recognizes as a Sony Bravia TV. So that's interesting. But yeah, how do you know? Okay, yeah, and so we've got a couple out of the, I guess, like the high voltage side. Well, I guess it is high voltage, 120 volts there. Side of the power supply. We've actually got these two connectors. I'm going to be a little careful around it still. But we've got, actually, let's go from the other side. If we just go ahead and take a look there, we have VCC 12 volts on that yellow one, which is on the, like, the backlight side of, actually it's two. So it's on, come on, focus. Okay, well, that's refusing to focus. It's on that backlight driver side. Okay, so it's had time to cool off quite a bit, and it's still working. So I hope it's one of those things where it could last quite a while, as long as it's not used very heavily. So I'm gonna put the heatsink and thermal pad back on. I do wish it was closer, though I could use thermal paste instead of thermal pad. And I got a couple options for fans. I just want to see which ones are sort of best for a quiet option. So we're going to... So I've got a big one, another big one, and I don't know how much room I have in there, but I have a couple small ones as well, which should hopefully do quite nicely. So I do just want to put them up to 12 volts, and I could use a 7805 and drop it down to 5 volts to undervolt them and help them be nice and quiet. So let's first see how two small ones are going to sound, because these should still have quite a bit of airflow. And I could rig something up, like using the actual like speed output, like with an Arduino to monitor the temperature if I knew what temperature I want them to turn on at. I could data log all that stuff, but I think just having them on constantly should be fine. They shouldn't really be all that loud. Well, let's go ahead and put the heatsink back on, and we'll see how it does. Aside from that, we'll see what we have for fan options once I see how much room there is for mounting. But yeah, I'm still surprised that worked. I didn't think so, but I mean, I guess it's an AMD GPU, so no offense or anything. It's just those are the ones that I've known this to be particularly effective on. Okay, so that right there is our heatsink mounted, and I'll try and show you. My phone is getting really laggy these days, so I'm not really going to be able to show you this properly, will I? Kind of. You can see the thermal pad right in there. Right there. And that seems to be making pretty good contact with the GPU. I don't even know if it's a GPU, if that's what you call it. Graphics processor, which I guess is the same thing. It may be something different, or maybe it's just like a off-the-shelf AMD GPU, off the shelf. So yeah, so I'm gonna put this in and then see how much sort of room there is in the back case and try and make a fan choice. I would like to get this fixed tonight. Okay, so we have our nice, dangerous high voltage board and a fan. I don't know if I showed this one. That should actually be quite good. I should also clean it. And then I just am going to use 4 51 ohm resistors to drop the voltage down a little bit. I did find if I want to run a fan at half voltage to make it quiet, I did find a tiny bit bigger 24 volt fan kicking around. I'll find a use for this thing someday. But yeah, so I'm going to just hook these 4 resistors up in parallel to basically make a 1 watt resistor, which is what I would need, roughly, probably a little lower. And then that's basically just going to be a perfect length of cable, as it is. Okay, so I realized I might not have explained exactly why I'm putting the fan, and this is just like a test fit of it, by the way. So we've got it all closed up, and it's a bit oversized, but it gives a wiggle room for installing it. So I'm putting in the fan, because usually when you reball, well, you're actually reballing the GPU, but when you're doing that and heating it up, which is actually the heating up which fixes it, a lot of the time it'll be good until it's under heavy load and it heats up again, and then everything sort of shifts out of place. So I'm hoping I can keep it basically as cool as possible and preserve it in a working state. But yeah, so now all that's left is to basically hot glue that fan onto the heatsink, and should be good. But let's go ahead and just give her a test to make sure that thing's still working after sitting for half an hour plus. And make sure the fan works properly. Okay. Yeah, so we got the fan there. That's pretty quiet. And, okay, so that's on all the time. So unfortunately that fan doesn't turn off when the actual TV is off, which is a shame, but oh well. But yeah, and we still got picture and everything. Nice DigiKey screen up there for stuff. So yeah. So that fan isn't off when the backlight's off, unfortunately, but it's not that bad. I usually have a fan going in my room anyways, like a room fan, so I wouldn't really notice that, and that should give more than adequate ventilation for that. Okay, so there you have it. The colors are actually pretty close. I tried another brand TV in a hotel room with an HDMI cable, and the colors were like way off from the ones on my laptop. It's never gonna focus. But yeah, so now you have, for that little effort, just like a TV, which is ridiculously fucking huge that I have no room for. But like, hey, it's working pretty good. Fan's really not noticeable over the room fan, and even, you know, without without another fan on, it's, you know, it's got a little hum to it, but, you know, it works, and it's pretty quiet. And I kind of like the ghetto modification that I've made. So yeah, now I just need to figure out some way of, like, setting this thing up